Lyra moved silently through the narrow corridors of the city's high-tech research complex. The soft hum of energy panels filled the air like a distant ocean, and the cool metallic walls reflected her sharp, focused gaze. She didn't notice the rare passerby, nor did she care. For 17 years, Lyra had built her life around logic, experiments, and calculations. Emotions were messy, unpredictable, and dangerous. She had long ago built walls around her heart, walls no one could cross. Her latest project was her most important yet, a device that could manipulate energy fields, something that could change the city forever. But Lyra was cautious. She had seen what emotions could do. When her parents had died in the citywide AI malfunction years ago, the world had seemed to crumble around her. Trust had become impossible. Feelings had become a threat. As she adjusted the small crystal emitter on her workbench, a sudden flash of light made her jump. "What?" she began, but stopped short. A boy stood there, leaning casually against the doorway. He was 16, with bright eyes that seemed to see more than they should. His hair was a tangle of brown and gold, unbothered by the sterile environment. And his grin, well, it made Lyra almost stumble. She hadn't smiled in years. "I'm sorry," he said quickly. "I didn't mean to, interrupt." Lyra narrowed her eyes. "Do you know how dangerous this is? One wrong move and—" "I know," the boy said, raising his hands. "I just came in to—" "See," Lyra blinked, "see? This wasn't supposed to happen. People didn't just come in here. Humans had become cautious, distant. They avoided each other like fragile glass, and yet, something about this boy felt different. "Name?" she asked, her voice sharper than she intended. "Evan," he replied. "And you are?" "Lyra," she said, turning back to her device. "Now leave." Evan hesitated, but instead of leaving, he looked around at her equipment. "This is incredible," he said softly. "You're really good." Lyra froze. Compliments made her uncomfortable. Praise even more so. But Evan didn't seem to expect anything from her. He wasn't judging. He was just noticing, and that tiny spark of recognition was dangerous. It poked at the walls she had spent years building. Before she could respond, her device buzzed violently. A surge of energy crackled across the room, forming tiny arcs of blue light. Lyra's heart raced. She had been so careful, and yet in one instant everything was at risk. Evan reacted before she could. He stepped forward, waving his hands as if he could push the energy away. "Step back," he shouted. Lyra hesitated. She wanted to yell at him, tell him to stay out of her experiments, but something in his movements made sense. Somehow he understood what was happening. The surge subsided, leaving her equipment intact. "What? How did you do that?" Lyra whispered, astonished. Evan shrugged, cheeks pink with embarrassment. "I don't know. I just felt it." Lyra stared at him. Felt it? She had spent years studying energy fields, quantum mechanics, and the precision of her experiments. She had never thought that feelings, someone's emotions, could influence the outcome. But now, standing in front of her, Evan had done exactly that. "I should